What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be revealing Eric Jones's semifinal coin trick he did on America's Got Talent. And if you have not seen the performance already, the link will be in the description. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button for all of the America's Got Talent Magic Act reveals, card trick videos, and card deck giveaways. And without any further ado, let's get right into this reveal. Okay, so throughout this reveal, I'm going to be putting screenshots of his performance on the screen with text on them, so you guys can get a better understanding and more easily follow my explanation for how he did this trick. So Eric started off this trick by making a $2 bill disappear, and then four quarters appeared right instantly in his hand. And the way he did this was, so went on stage with the four quarters in his hand already, and he concealed them, pretty nice. He concealed them obviously so we couldn't see him, and then he has the $2 bill, at the top of his fingers here, and then the four quarters are concealed from the audience, so we can't see them. So he goes over, let's say it was a wallet. He goes over the black wallet, and then what he's doing here is he has the wallet, flat on his hand here. He's picking up the $2 bill at the same time as he's kind of sliding these four coins now to the middle of his hand. And he did that move really quickly to make it appear that these four coins suddenly just appeared, and then the $2 bill disappeared right from his hand. So after he did that, just set the wallet or whatever it was with the $2 bill under it, just right back on the table. And then he obviously went back to that later in the trick, and I will get to that towards the later in this reveal. And then from here, Eric asks Simon for a $100 bill. Simon signs it. And then what Eric does here is a little bit suspicious, and this was, I would say, the only little mishap in his act. So he takes the signed bill, goes back to the table that has supposedly no coins on it. But then you'll notice, I'm going to put a screenshot or a little clip of the video right here. And he puts that $100 bill back on the table. You can actually see there's four coins. You can see some of the coins that are on the table. He didn't really conceal it well, so he put that $100 bill on. So let's say, this card's the $100 bill. He puts it on there. You can still kind of see some of the coins, and he kind of tries to put the $100 bill over it, so he's concealing the coins. But that part of his act, that was shown on camera, and I'm sure a lot of people, you guys saw that at home, and you were a little bit suspicious about that. So I'll get to that, touch on more of that later in this reveal, but that was just kind of interesting. He put that $100 bill on. You could still see some of the coins. Okay, so right now I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of background on Eric Jones. So he's known for his coin magic, and what that entails, he is known for using gimmicks in his coin magic, especially this act. And I'll get into that gimmick in a second. And also another thing to note is that this act he just did on America's Got Talent, his semifinal act, was very similar to his act he did on Penn and Teller. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. If you didn't, I'll leave that link in the description. The acts were pretty similar, and he did use one significant coin gimmick in both of these acts, and that gimmick is called a flipper. So it's a coin flipper. I'll leave a link in the description for an article on that where you guys can read it, in a screenshot right now of kind of a description of it. And as you guys can see here, there are lots of different websites to purchase the flipper coin gimmick that Eric Jones used in this act. And I don't have one with me, but I'm going to be using some regular coins here to give you guys a demonstration about how this gimmick works. So basically, there's the old kind of flipper gimmick used rubber bands kind of as behind this coin. But now they use this elastic sort of method. So really what happens is you can this appears as a normal set, just normal two coins, but really there's something going on behind here with elastic, and then when you drop it, there's tension building up, and then that tension releases when you drop it. It can happen in the spectator's hand, like in Eric Jones's performance when it happened in Simon's hand. So he drops, and then this coin just goes right behind the top coin, and then when it drops, it appears as there's only one coin, and that second coin just disappeared. I guess I'm sorry I'm not giving you guys a great description here because I don't have one, but I will leave a link in the description for a really in-depth tutorial and description of how this gimmick works. So that's really what this flipper gimmick is and kind of how it works. And now I'm going to get a little bit more into how Eric Jones incorporated this into his own act and kind of where he switched out between regular coins and this flipper gimmick here. Okay, so what he does with Simon is he's using one flipper in this act. So, and when he does it with Simon, so pretend this is the flipper right here, and then he's got the two regular coins uh, that he uses also. So pretend all these are in Simon's hand. Pretend this is the flipper. So right when Simon's shaking his hands, he's going like this. This flipper, this one goes behind, and then it appears as if then there's three coins here. So he drops them on the table. Again, these will stay together. So like this, and then it appeared that one coin disappeared. Like again, with the flipper, these will stay exactly square. It really will appear as if it's only 1/4. So now he goes to Heidi, and what he does here, you'll notice he actually reaches into his pocket. And what he's doing here is he's ditching one of these regular coins. So he's kind of going into his pocket really discreetly. He puts this coin, the regular coin, aside like this. So then he goes to Heidi. He ditched the regular coins in his pocket, puts that in his pocket, and then from here he goes to Heidi with the flipper now separated, and then the regular coin. So this right here, you have to pay attention closely in his act. What he does here is a giveaway that he did use of the flipper coin. So you notice as he's putting these coins in her hand, he goes like this. He says, okay, I'm going to take these three coins. You notice he separates this one, but he doesn't separate these two. And the reason he does that is with the flipper gimmick, you can't separate the two coins because they're connected with elastic. And then the gimmick would be broken. So he really discreetly, no one's going to notice it the first time. You have to go back and rewatch it. That he puts these three coins here, just like this. So he's got the regular coin, then the flipper gimmick is together. And like I just said, he didn't separate these two because the gimmick would be broken. So then he asks Heidi to do the same thing, to toss the coins onto the table, and then see if she's actually Heidi to focus on one, and then just toss them on the table. So once she does that, the flipper goes behind it like this. Obviously, this is going to happen really quickly. It's connected with the elastic, then it appears as if one of the three coins really disappeared. So then he proceeds to do a different variation of a trick you can do with the flipper coin with Howie. So what he does here is, so right now he has a flipper gimmick and then a regular coin. So as he's walking to Howie, you'll notice he goes to his pocket again. And what he's doing here is he's just ditching the regular coin. So he puts that in his pocket. Again, pretend this is his pocket right here. So now he's just left with a flipper gimmick like this. So this is another trick you can do with a spectator with the flipper gimmick. This is really similar to his Penn and Teller trick that he did. Again, link will be in the description for that if you guys want to go check that out. So he has Howie grip the flipper gimmick like this. It really seems like there is two coins here. He has Howie drop it, and then what's happening here with the flipper gimmick is just going behind it in midair, then it drops to appear as if one coin just disappeared out of thin air. So again, yeah, he drops it. The coin is going right behind it because of the elastic, drops into his hand, and then he amazes everyone that it seemed like it just disappeared. So now he goes to the final judge, Mel B, and proceeds to do a really discreet sleight of hand move, and the camera angles helped cover up what he did here. So basically, he appeared as he picked up the coin, which again, this is the flipper gimmick, so it's squared up like this. He goes and acts as he puts it in this hand, and then it somehow appears on Mel B's shoulder. But what he does here, so he picks it up with either his right or left hand, and he appears as if he's just pretend this is just the flipper gimmick right here, one coin. So he appears as if he's putting it in his right hand, but really he's doing here is he's kind of taking it back with this hand. So Mel B and everyone thinks it's in this hand right here, but now he goes with this hand that has the coin and just rests it on Mel B's shoulder. And I'll put a screenshot right now so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So once he does that, he leaves the coin on her shoulder. So pretend this coin is on Mel B's shoulder. The camera is zoomed in on her hand, so we can't just see the coin resting there. Then he takes his hand off the shoulder and makes it seem like it vanished. Then he asks Mel B to look at her shoulder, and then it somehow appeared on her shoulder when it looked like it was just in her hand. So then from here, he says he'll actually really get the coin to disappear. So what he does here, he takes it off her shoulder. It appears as if he's putting it in this hand, but again, he's taking it with this hand, and really discreetly, he picks his hand behind Mel B, and then really slowly just drops this coin in his pocket. This is the flipper gimmick. So now these 4 coins are in his pocket, and then he says, okay, now it disappeared. Mel B was shocked. Everyone was shocked that it appeared that it disappeared. So from here, he goes now back to the table with the $100 bill. And like I said in the beginning of the reel, this was a little bit of a mess up. So there we saw at the beginning of the reel there was already 4 coins here. And what I believe happened here was there was compartments in the table like this, and then must have had an assistant backstage, and this is at the beginning of the act where he had it appear that the coins just like came out of nowhere, and I think the assistant must have like pressed some sort of button, or he might have on stage to allow the compartments to then show the coins. That just happened way too early. I mean, not way too early, but just a little bit too early, because it happened before he put down the 100 bill to conceal it. So then he goes back, and then the 4 coins are already there. So it appeared that they had disappeared, and then somehow reappeared on the table right here. Alright guys, so one thing I'm going to add is, as I was editing out this video, it's going to be pretty long if I explain the very last part of the trick where he changed the 4 quarters into the $2 bill. So I'm not going to really go into detail on that because I don't want this video to drag on longer than it needs to be. So that is really going to do it for this reveal. The main part of his act involved the flipper coin gimmick. Again, check out the links in the description for a more in-depth tutorial on how it works. And his Penn and Teller act, if you guys want to see another instance where he used the flipper coin gimmick. So that is going to do it for this reveal video. Hope you guys liked it. I hope it made sense for you guys. And leave any questions you have in the comment section below, and I want to hear your guys' feedback as well. I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out.